Okay guys, welcome to the video. Now let's cover 10 tips. Now first thing we have, let's go into key group program. Let's go into the menu, program edit. Okay, so if you go to the master, you can say how many key groups you want inside this program. So you can select up to 128 key groups if you want. Let's just for the sake of simplicity keep it 4, and now you can choose where the 4 key groups are going to play. So if you tap on that icon right there of the keyboard, you can now say that key group 1 is going to play from the node C2 all the way up to that B1. Key group 2 is going to play from C2 or F1, sorry, all the way there. So select key group 3, you can say it's going to play from that range to that range. Key group 4 from whatever range you want to put it to that range there. And this is where you can put each sound to each section of the keyboard. Okay, let's go back here to sequence number 3. I have this beat right here. And what I've done in this beat, track 1 contains all my drums. So I don't separate the drum sounds into several tracks. That workflow, it's very helpful if you're on a normal DAW like Logic, Pro Tools, Ableton, whatever, because you'll have to separate those sounds into tracks so you can actually mix them. You don't need to do that on the MPC. Each pad contains its own channel strip. You can go straight to the menu and you'll have the option right there for pad mixer. And now each pad has its own channel strip right there. And you can even go here to the main, and if you select pad, you'll see each pad with its own channel strip right there. You can even insert effects to each pad right there straight from the main window. Now if you have a look here, these are all my drums. So I'm going to solo. Okay, unsolo that. If I want to have each sound here into a separate track, basically what I do is go here to the track, pencil, and go for explode. It's going to mute my original track that contains all the samples. It's going to mute that one, so it's muted, and it's going to create new tracks. So where are my new tracks? This is my bass. So here we go, got the bass drum on that one. It's got the hi-hats on that one. Okay, and that's how you separate sounds into several tracks from one track. Very useful tool in case you want to use that. Again, I don't really use that because if I don't see the need for that, because if I want to mix my sounds within one track, I basically just go to pad mixer and just mix it straight from there, or I can simply go to the main window and just tap on the pad icon and mix my levels straight from there. Well, now that we have exploded the tracks, we won't be able to mute all of them together at the same time, or can we? We can actually do that. We can go up to the track mute group. So let's go to the menu, let's go into track mute. Okay, and we can select track mutes here. We can say that this track belongs to 1, this belongs to 1, this track belongs to 1. You can tap it right there as well, 1 and 1. Okay, so these are the tracks that we exploded originally from track 1. And now they're all on the same mute group, okay? And you can now play it. If you want to just solo some of these sounds, you can actually go into pad mute. In pad mute, you can solo the sounds that you want to solo, or you can add them to groups as well. So you have pad group there, it works exactly the same. Okay, so That's my snap and my hi-hat, so my rim shot. And I can mute group these two as well. So tap that one, tap on this one, mute group one. Or I can go into track mute and just mute everything. Okay. I can put my both hi-hats on track mute 2. So these are my hi-hats. Go to 2 and to 2 as well. Let's go. One of the things that we can do here, obviously we can mute several pads at the same time. We can mute several tracks at the same time, so have that as well. But when we go to edit, we have another cool tool as well that provides us. That's this icon here at the top. What it allows us to do is to actually edit a current pad, which is the default. So we can just select a pad and then edit it, or we can edit several pads at the same time. You can just select the pads that you want to edit, or you can select all the pads on the program at the same time. So this is a very useful tool. But now make sure that one thing it's clear to you guys. So let's have a look at these two. So this one is set to 79. That's the volume right there, and this one is set for 52. So they have different values right there. And if you put both of them to edit on the multiple, okay, let's take these out. Let's just put these two on and let's close that. Now stop there. If you edit, because one of them is set to 78 and this one's set to 52, if you turn that wheel, now they're both sharing the same value. And this happens to all the parameters, so make sure you be careful with that. Okay, so you should use this feature only for parameters that are sharing the same value. One of the things that I see some guys not knowing is that if you double click on the stop button, it stops all the sounds that are playing on the MPC. Okay, let me choose a sound here. Let me go. So if you double tap on the stop, imagine if you have a long sound playing, you want that to stop immediately, you just double click on the stop button and it stops the sound. So getting back into the mutes again, one of the cool features is that we can record our mutes here on the MPC. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to put this to record and hit the overdub button and the play button at the same time. And that's it. So basically we've just recorded the mutes onto this sequence. So now let's play it. One of the cool things now that the 2.0.6 came out we have the step editor now available to us right here. Let's go here to a different sequence. And let's just go here to the 16 levels. Let's just say you created something that you like, okay? And then you can just go here straight to the step editor, and you can actually just put notes here because it's easier in case you have a lot of things. You can select what you want to see on the screen. Automation is also right there if you want to delete any automation. Program automation, you got several stuff that you can see right here on the screen. Now, one of the cool things is that you have the tuning right there. Can go for the panning just for that specific note if you want to play with these pannings. It's kind of like automating the track in a way. And you kind of create a ping pong effect with this, all done manually. You can give just an attack for that specific note. That's really clever right there. Let's try that. Okay, let's go here to the pan and put that all the way to the other side. Wow, just because of the attack that we gave, that's was all the way up to 100. Obviously that wouldn't work, so let's pull it back a bit. That's really cool, man. You know, it allows you just to tweak one of the notes there from the grid. You know, it allows you just to go to that specific note. Even for snares, you can just tune it down. You can give it a different attack or anything. That's really helpful tool just to go into a specific note on the grid and do some fine tunings. Okay, so the next tip is for the Q links. Q links, we know that we can tap on the Q link and just takes us to a different set on the screen. Okay, but if we press and hold, it'll show us the screen right there with all the parameters that are being set to the Q links. If we actually we can choose which screen we want to be working on with the Q links, and we can also put one of these Q links to learn one of the functions. So what we do whilst we're holding down, we just go press learn, and the light starts blinking. Okay, it means that we can now assign one of the parameters to the Q links. Now I want to tap on that Q link right there. Okay, and I want to say that I want to use, let's say, the semi here for the master of the entire program, and I tap on it, but I need to just move it as well so it assigns to the Q link, and now I can actually move it. Go back to the Q link, press and hold, tap out of the learn function, and now you're set. You're good to go with that. Parameter is now assigned to that Q link. Okay. Okay, so let's have a look at this. If you are on a drum program and if you connect a MIDI keyboard to your MPC, you'll actually see that if you tap on pad 1, it tells you that it's triggering that note there. If you tap on the next pad, it will tell you that that's a note that's triggering. And if you tap on the next one, it's all the way down here. If you tap on the next one, it's all the way down there. So that's the way the classic MPC layout for the MIDI notes, it's done, it's created. Now we have an option that actually bypasses this in case you want to use it. So if you just go to edit, program, then we have this option right here that's note mapping. If you want to click on note mapping, and now it gives you the option to put your drum programs into the chromatic MIDI note setup. Now if you click on the chromatic mode, this is the mode that most actually all the MIDI keyboards use. If you tap on it, it will now place us into the actual, if you have a look there, MIDI 0. It's a bit glitchy right there, but you know, actually what it gives us now. So if we're in chromatic mode, we can close this. We can actually have a look if we tap on pad 1, and now it starts from right at the beginning right there, and so forward as we go from pad A1 to the last pad on the MPC, you know. And this is the chromatic mode now available straight from the MPC software. You can even come here and you can edit which note you want pad A1 to play and so forth. And you can save this when you close it. You can save the program, and once you save the program, you can just bring it in at any time. So this is a very welcome tool to the MPC workflow. You can now actually put your drum programs into the chromatic MIDI layout.